Hello and welcome back to 2025. It is the first episode of the Tau Teams update, and we're going to get straight into our Q&A questions for the month. All right. And this first question is from Question, and they ask, it is said that good old-fashioned logical AI still lives on in LLM methods with band-aids to correct reasoning. Isn't this what Tau needs to do anyway to populate its knowledge base?
So, in this new combination of logical AI with the LLM, will of course suffer from the downsides of LLM of not being accurate. And it is left to be seen what can be done with such a combination, but it will never be as good as the combination that I suggest. Machine learning algorithms that live and implemented inside logical AI, and not the other way around, or not in a layered way, but simply to express machine learning algorithms in logical AI. And then you have a clear distinction between accurate knowledge and guesses, and those two can also fully interact with each other.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ahad. And the next question is from Austin, and they ask, can we expect the team to start doing more live AMAs, either on X or Telegram? It would be a great way to improve the transparency and trust among the community. Yes, we can expect the team to be more live on the socials and ready there and interactive with all of you guys. And we want to do that. Right now we're in build mode heavily, and we want to be able to talk about something which is there, live, and interactive. But yes, that will be coming, and it will initially be more like a fireside chat, so you'll be able to tune in and hear us talking about different topics. And as we bring the community members in, we'll be talking about, very specific topics on what we're building, and you guys can provide your questions, so we keep it topic focused. But yep, that will be coming as well. And the next question is from Matsumoto, and they ask, what is the plan for short term for this year and midterm? Well, the plan is basically on the website already, because we have the testnet. As you guys know, there's going to be iterations of the testnet. If you guys manage to break it, or there seems to be some kind of rule set that we need to reset the testnet, then we're going to be continuing to work on the initial rules of the testnet, and eventually we get to mainnet, where we can continuously add more features and so on. For example, like the DeFi market and the computational resources market, and much more. So the plan is effectively there already, and obviously first thing we're going to be launching is the testnet, which is going to be in the shorter term. Cheers. And the next question is from Ethan Chen, and he asks, did the patent application of Tau language get approved by the USPTO?
Thank you for that question. Yes, so we have several patent applications in the pipeline, both in the US and in the EU. And the most important one, the core Tau patent, has been allowed in the US, which is great, which means that you will soon see it published. While we have several other applications that are still in process, and we're submitting new ones. So you'll continue to see a constant stream of patents being published by the USPTO and the EPO for our benefit.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Karim. And the next question is again from Ethan, and he asks, does Tau language need any further improvements to use Tau language for the development of Testnet? And if so, what are the specific aspects?
Thank you, Ethan, for that great question. Yeah, we certainly have a short list of core Tau interpreter features that are needed for Tau Net. This list includes enhancements to the internal data structures that will allow more efficient memory usage. It also includes several grammar enhancements, as we always do those. There are two major features that I'm personally excited about, which are bit vectors and tables that David is working on, as we'll see in the overview. And then finally, persistence for everything, for all those core features. As you can see, this is a short list of features. I mean, they're important features, but I think they can certainly be implemented and fully tested in a reasonable time frame. Thanks again for that question.
And this next question is from Jim, and they ask, what sort of metrics can we look forward to with Tau language? And down the road, the blockchain. Where should Tau excel compared to other projects?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So basically, the Tau language will provide features that are not possible with other languages at the moment. And the two most important ones are that the Tau language is a declarative programming language that is able to check the consistency of its own sentences within one of its sentences. That sounds like it's not possible, but using the theory of Boolean algebra in a certain way, it turns out that it actually is possible, and we are taking huge advantage of this. I'll get to the point why this is important in a second. The second aspect, though, is that the Tau language, since it is a declarative logical language, is a specification for a program. And so running a Tau program in the scope of building the blockchain means executing a specification, basically, which is program synthesis. And currently, there's no other language that is expressive enough to implement general purpose software using this program synthesis approach in a decidable, reliable way, like we, or mainly Ohad and the professors on board at ID&I have developed. Now, those two features are core to the following, which is the user-driven development of a blockchain. Those aspects are key because a user-driven development means that updates come from the community, and there needs to be a way to ensure that updates are consistent with the current specification. And this is exactly what checking the consistency in the same language means, that we can check if an update is compatible with the current specification. And because we are doing program synthesis on a specification, installing an update simply means to take the old specification and in a certain way include the update in it, such that these consistency checks are honored, let's say. Of course, this is not all of it is straightforward, but we figured out all the theory, and this is the essence of what sets the Tau language aside and makes it the perfect fit for implementing the blockchain that we want to see. Thank you for the question.
All right, fantastic, Luca. And the next question is from deep.defi, and they ask, as the enterprise and public blockchain Twitters are separate now, I want to know about the use of Agoras. Will enterprises need Agoras to buy all Tau products just like everyone? Well, the answer to that is no. However, we are going to make sure that people can buy all of our products in Agoras, and there may or may not be some incentives to do so, depending on what's possible. And obviously, we have to work with potential customers in finding out how that's going to work in terms of the mechanisms and what they'll be interested in working with us on in making that transaction happen. So the whole idea is to make this as seamless as possible for any customer to use Agoras to purchase products. It has to be seamless, but ideally we can make the flow and benefit the Agoras holders by increasing the utility of the token. The next question is from BitDAO, and they ask, does Tau Net use account model or UTXO model?
Thank you, BitDAO, for that question. Yes, we have decided to make it more user-friendly to use the account model, whereby every account or address has a current balance that gets updated after every transaction. So it's a lot more user-friendly, we think, than the UTXO model that Bitcoin uses. Thanks again for that question.
All right, fantastic. And the next question is from Ethan. And he asks, to upgrade Tau language to fully meet the requirements of testnet development, how long will it take? Well, Ethan, you've already asked that question and Karim has already answered. So we already have the answer earlier in the Q&A. And the last question is from Arkham. And they ask, what is the team's response to Deepseek overtaking OpenAI? And what does their breakthrough in the market ultimately mean for Tau Net and Agoras? It's important to make a distinction between what we are and what they are. So Deepseek is primarily a machine learning based model. And what we do is all to do with software synthesis and logical reasoning. Now, effectively, Deepseek is not going to be able to do what we do, as Luca has already mentioned in his answer to Jim earlier, because machine learning models are unable to correctly synthesize software like we can. So for us, it doesn't mean anything, and we are still on track to building the greatest blockchain of all time. All right, fantastic. That is it for the Q&A questions for the start of the year. What a lovely batch of questions we have. You can follow us on all of our socials. On X, that's Tau_net. On our subreddit, that's Tau Net Agrs. And on Telegram, it's Tau Net, our new handle on Telegram. Cheers.